Oh, I've been busy in the Newcastle save. I've played 6 matches and made 6 new signings. Let me show you what I've been up to. Hello and welcome back to the Newcastle save on the channel. Hopefully you all enjoyed episode 1. Thank you so much for all the support on that episode, by the way. Lovely, lovely stuff to see. I've been busy. We've been up to quite a bit, actually. We've streamed over the weekend, so there's lots of games been played, lots of transfers been done. I'm going to show you everything that's happened in today's episode, as well as carrying on in the save a little bit. We're going to have deadline day. We're going to do a live comm. It's going to be action-packed. It might be a long episode, so sit back, get yourself a nice cup of coffee, enjoy. Let's get ourselves into the save. Stop. Whoa, 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 whoa. Stop. Before we get into the game, I just need to ask you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We want to hit 30k subscribers. I'm sorry to stop you, but please subscribe. Thank you very much. Now we'll get into the game. Sorry for that. Okay, so here's the current situation then. Here are the results of the first matches of the season. You can see it's a bit of a mixed bag. In fact, it starts brilliantly and then goes slightly downhill from there, doesn't it? 3 wins on the trot and then 3 losses. However, there's a little bit more to this story. And before we jump into the results and have a look at how these games have gone, I do want to update you on some transfers that have been made, because you may see 1 or 2 names in the games here that you might be like, I didn't realize we signed him. So let's have a look at the transfers first of all. I did tease at the start of, well, in the first episode, I did talk about my targets, about where I wanted to sign players, where I wanted to bring players in. I think I've managed to do that, actually, in terms of our transfers this summer. Remember, we had about £40 million to spend, which I then adjusted the wage budget. We had about 56 million, I think it was, to spend. So I've done a lot of structured deals, but we have made 6 new signings. I talked about in episode 1 wanting to sign Moises Caicedo. He is, in fact, the first name in through the door. Here he is, the Ecuadorian centre midfielder. Lots of value to him. We've put him on 70k per week, but at 20 years old, I think we've got his best years ahead of us, and he's going to slot right into this midfield. He can play as the Carrilero, which we'll look at in a second as well. He can play as the Metzala, which is what we're going to mainly use him as. He has actually picked up an injury as well. He sprained his knee ligaments almost immediately, and he's been out for, I think it's going to be about 6 weeks that he's going to be out for. So not great, but he has made a start. He's played 4 games. Fairly underwhelming start, you could say, 6.75, but he's going to be a cog in the machine. He's just going to be... Did he actually have a loan to be a shot? Oh, yeah, he did, didn't he? Before he's actually started starting for Brighton. I feel like there's a bit missing in his career there, because he played... Oh, yeah, it's because the loans have been a bit weird, because he came back and then played for them. I didn't... yeah, anyway, doesn't matter. Caicedo is now a Newcastle player, and he was our first signing. The second signing was a big money one. We talked about wanting maybe an extra winger. We got Almiron on one side, Saint-Maximin on the other side. Those 2 rotating. Is Almiron quite good enough? I really like him. He's been brilliant in real life, hasn't he? We wanted a new winger. I've decided to go and sign Cody Gakpo for £38.5 million. It's a big money signing. He is very expensive, but he's pretty good. Have a look at the value on him now. He's on 99k per week. He's an important player. He is very injured. This happened. Oh, flipping heck. Well, that's bad. That might change our transfer strategy a little bit now. Can we get a refund? Yeah, he broke his leg within about a week of signing. I don't even know, did he even make his debut? He's not made his debut. So he spent £38.5 million that could rise to 58. Some of that is structured, by the way. It wasn't £38 million out of our budget this season. I think it was about less than 20 this season, but of course that's still a lot of money, isn't it? He's going to be really, really important for us. Imagine Gakpo off one side, Saint-Maximin off the other side. No, that's not going to happen for a while. He's out for at least another 3 months, I'd say, looking at this. Not a great start. It did maybe change what we were going to do for the rest of the window as well. Let me jump ahead, in fact. Because he was out with that injury, I did decide to go and sign Andreas Schauderup, who is an 18-year-old Norwegian. My face back is showing him as about a 12-year-old boy, it would be. But he's pretty good, isn't he? He's actually made a pretty good start as well. He's played a lot of games, 5 games. His average rating is quite good. He's got an assist. That's only 2 starts as well, but 7.1 average rating. He looks like a really good player. In the match engine, you can see him getting involved. He looks pretty good. Andreas Schauderup is our 3rd signing. And then in between that, we have made... I mean, those are all attacking signings, aren't they? 2 wingers, one centre mid. A couple of defensive signings. This one might, I think, be our best business this summer. If you are playing an FM save right now, Go and have a look at this guy in your save. Antonio Silva is an 18-year-old centre-back. He's 6'2". He comes from Benfica. He's already a star player at our club because he actually is a star player. I compared him to Fabian Schär, and I think Silva is better at 18. We bought him for, it goes to, well, it can go up to 20 million. Again, 17.5 million pounds minimum cost, but I don't think we've actually spent that yet. It's, again, installments. He's a starter already. He was player of the match in one game. But yeah, look at him, 18 years old. I don't know what else to say about him. What a player. What a player he's going to be with this potential as well. Very happy with that bit of business. We also brought in Borna Sosa to give a bit of competition to Matt Targett at left back. I think he's really good. He's got good set pieces. Got a lot of these arrows going down. One thing I do need to do is go and sort out our staff. I mean, that's a horrible sight. If you're an FM player and looking at that, you're thinking, sort this out. I do need to go and do that as well. Maybe as well, the head physio. I have put in a bid for a new head physio because we are getting a lot of injuries, as you will have seen. Borna Sosa is in as probably a backup to start with behind Matt Targett, because Targett's pretty good, but he's going to be a very good squad option. And then finally, another squad option, Alexis Salamakers has come in for about £6 million up front. So again, we might make money on him. Very solid option. Can play all the way down the right-hand side and maybe even the left-hand side if we really needed him to. From AC Milan, he's made his debut just one game so far. £11 million guaranteed. Could rise, could it, to 12.5? I think that's a bargain. I think it's a bargain buy, and I'm happy with the business we've done there. He is going to be a bit of competition for Trippier at right back. Squad option, depth option for Trippier at right back. Can also then fill in on the right-hand side if we really need him to. Those are our signings in. We have sold some players. We have sold some players on, as you would expect. Karius has gone. He wanted to leave because he wasn't going to get a work permit, so I was happy to let him go for £1.5 million. We've loaned out a few players here. Matt Ritchie went to West Brom. The biggest one was Ryan Fraser, who moved on to Southampton for £13 million. I think that's good money to get for him. We do need to be a bit careful with homegrown players, especially if we qualify for Europe, which would be a nice place to start. I think that's the aim, isn't it? We talked about it last season, in the last episode, I should say. Qualifying for Europe would be a good start to this save. Ryan Fraser gone. A big part of today is going to be seeing if we can move some other players on too, because it is deadline day. We're going to get into this in a second, but before that, let me show you the matches that we've played. All right, so let's dive into these games. Let me get you up to date on where we've got to then. The first match of the season was an away game with Aston Villa. Villa, who are struggling slightly, sacked Steven Gerrard, of course, in real life, but away from home, it wasn't going to be an easy start. However, we made light work of it, really. Away at Villa, to go and win 2-0, I was thinking this is good. And look how solid we were. We simply played a 4-3-3 gegenpress. We talked about the tactics a little bit last episode. I kept it very, very simple. The big discussion was whether we played two strikers and made it a little bit asymmetric and played, instead of Almiron, played Wilson over here and go with that. I decided, and we had a bit of a chat in the Twitch stream, that maybe away from home we'll try the 4-3-3. It's a little bit more solid with that width there. And then maybe at home we'll go with the two strikers. So away from home here, we played Almiron. He was excellent on this right-hand side. We had Shelder up starting on the left because St. Maximan was injured. We managed to get ourselves a 2-0 win. Joel Linton scored the first goal. Isak scored the second one. He's been very good so far, by the way. Alexander Isak, going to be a real player for us, I think. I mean, you'd expect it, but he's going to be our main man, I think. And then, yeah, a 2-0 win. Very happy with that. Just one shot on target from Aston Villa. Fantastic start. We then backed it up with a home match against Forest, which again finished 2-0. We are the 2-0 side. Here you can see, look, how we went with the two strikers. I actually decided to play Isak as the pressing forward with Wilson as the advanced forward. We had a discussion about which way round. Still might swap it. I'm not quite sure. Wilson didn't do great in this one. Isak, though, was really good. He scored in the 54th minute. And then Almiron coming in off the bench. I think I went back to the 4-3-3 in the second half, which actually did make us look a little bit better. I'm now maybe leaning towards using the simple 4-3-3 rather than this at most points. I think just with that width, maybe trying to get Trippier further forward if we go with this, because it just seemed like we weren't really using the wide areas very well at all. We lost a bit of balance. We did get ourselves a win, though. They didn't even have a shot on target. So a solid win here. Almiron with the second goal to finish it off. A beautiful ball from Joel Linton, by the way, for that goal. Another 2-0 win. And then a bit of a pattern emerging here. Look, into the next game, which was away to Leeds. Of course, you can probably imagine how we played. We went back to the 4-3-3, and it was another 2-0 win. Another solid win where they only had one shot on target. That's 3 matches against Premier League teams where in total they've had 2 shots on target. We were flying at this stage, and you've seen the fixture list. You can see the results that we stopped flying after this, but at this point we were top of the league after 3 matches. It was Sam Maximan who scored early with this weird little defensive mix-up, seeing a few of those in FM22 so far, and then Isak with a penalty to make it 2-0. Because we kept winning 2-0 and I wanted to do a tweet about it, I may have told them to go very defensive at the end just to make sure that it stayed 2-0 and kept up the pattern. It was spoiled next, though, because we played in the Carabao Cup against Everton. It was a 0-0 draw. It was a much changed team. You see how many of these players were changed. The back 4 was completely different. Sosa, Burns, Cher, Manquillo, Longstaff came in. Caicedo did start, but in a different role. Willock came in to start. Willock's been really good off the bench, by the way. He's been an interest. I think he's a really good option to bring in as the next midfielder to use. Pretty good look. I like him a lot. So we're going to keep him around as well because he is, he's homegrown in nation as well, which we do need to think about a bit. Almiron, Sheldrup, Wilson started. Wilson struggling. I don't know how to get the best. Like, he's really good in FM, but I don't think we're getting the best out of Callum Wilson at the moment. We lost on a penalty shootout. We missed our first pen, Sheldrup, and then we missed the last one with Sosa. And yeah, we lost on penalties. Not the best start to the season in terms of the cup competitions, but am I that upset? I'm not quite sure I am, because it's the Carabao Cup. I'd rather focus on the league. The board was not too happy, weren't too upset with it, so I think that's okay. And then look, we played 2 really tough games. It was Manchester City at home. I was hoping we could be competitive. We just weren't in the first half. We lost 4-1. They ran rampant. 2-0 up in 25 minutes. We had a disallowed goal. Then they went 3-0 up and then 4-0 up. Grealish with this goal to make it 4-0. We did get a consolation with Callum Wilson. It was almost, the comeback on, but not quite. We lost 4-1. It doesn't look that uneven in terms of they only had 6 shots on target and scored 4. However, Pope with a 6. We didn't play well. Manchester City are really good. We lost the game. Maybe heads dropped a little bit because then we went into Spurs away from home. Always going to be a tough game. Again, not that uneven in terms of the stats, but Yves Bissouma scored a worldie at the start, this little curling effort, and then from there Kulusevski scored, then Harry Kane scored, and again it was a consolation really. Isak did score another one. He's got, I think, now 4 in his first 5 matches in the league. Yeah, 4 goals. So we started really well. We need to bounce back. Today, we're going to try and bounce back because we are playing Brighton, which we are going to do as a live comm in today's episode. Before that, though, we're going to have a very quick transfer deadline day. And I say very quick because we haven't got any money to spend. I'm looking to sell some players. I want to go and sell Chris Wood. I want to sell Jamal Lascelles. I want to sell Jacob Murphy, amongst others. I'm going to go and try and sell them on deadline day, but I thought I'd include it in the video today. I'll show you what happens on this deadline day. One thing I would like to happen is if Chris Wood does go, if we can just about raise the money, which is about £3 million, I'd like to go and bring in Dion Drainer Bellio as his replacement because I think he's going to be a really good player. He's 20 years old. He's 6'5". He's my type of striker. He's very Benjamin Sesko in my eyes. I'd love to be able to bring him in. We've got everything agreed. We just need to raise the money. I'm going to go and see what I can do in deadline day and let you know how it goes after this. Let's do a click. Okay, that's a little bit of a disappointing transfer deadline day. It wasn't quite what I was hoping it would be. There was some movements. Let me show you what those were, but it wasn't quite the I didn't quite raise the money to bring in those players that I wanted to bring in. In fact, we didn't bring anybody else in on that deadline day. Only some outgoings. Jamal Lewis joined Crystal Palace on loan. They are paying most of his wages on 50k per week. Jamal Lewis. I think we do lose a little bit in terms of having a backup, but I don't think he was going to be used much. We brought in Borna Sosa as the other backup now. So Jamal Lewis to Palace. I think we've got an okay deal with that. Jacob Murphy too. Another player not in my plans. I put him in the under-21s. He's now gone to Norwich on loan. They are paying most of his wages there, as well as, there's a little bit of a fee involved with both of those. And then finally, the last one, maybe one that could be criticised a little bit, this one. Chris Wood has gone to Bournemouth on a free. He was on 80k a week. So I just thought I wanted to get rid of that off the wage budget. I don't think I was going to use Chris Wood. He's all right, and he's 6'3", but he's going to be third choice and £80,000 per week. I know I've not been able to bring in a replacement for him, but I think I'd rather get the wages off the wage bill until January, and then January will bring in that replacement. He's gone to Bournemouth, where they're paying him now 26k per week. So I think that says it all, really, doesn't it? I've not been able to bring anybody in. There was the Bellio deal, which got cancelled. There he is. We'll go for him in January probably. Hopefully he doesn't get picked up by anybody before then. Hopefully his value doesn't skyrocket because that was a cheap deal. 3.6 million up front, look. 4.5 million in total. Would have been cheap for a very good striker, but it's been cancelled. And then I did make a last-minute bid to see if we could bring in Fair Nino on loan. Very good, I thought. It'd be a brilliant third choice. Better than Chris Woods. We weren't even going to have to pay that much, but we couldn't afford it. We needed 500k. We only had 170k. Disappointing, but transfer deadline is done. Our business is complete. Let's go and play this next game, which is against Brighton. Okay, then following that disappointing deadline day, let's get ourselves into this fixture, this first live comm on this or in this series. It is a home game. It's Brighton at home. Brighton, how have they started actually? They are 5th. They've made a good start to life this year. 3 wins in their first 5 under Roberto De Zerbi. So aren't going to be easy. They've got a lot of players back. There's like a back 5 and then 3 in front of them. You'll see it in a second as we load into the game. I think I'm going to go with the 4-3-3. This is despite it being at home. I think just the fact that we need to get back to winning ways means I'm going to go with the 4-3-3. We do have some injury troubles, of course. Shelby still out, 4 to 7 weeks left with that torn hamstring. Caicedo's got 3 to 6 weeks left with his sprained knee ligaments. And then Cody Gakpo with that broken leg is out for a while yet. It means Pope in goal, Trippier, Silva, Botman, Sosa comes in at left back. Target's a little bit tired. We've been playing quite a lot of games with the World Cup in November. The schedule's pretty tight as it is in real life, isn't it? Bruno continues as the deep line playmaker. Joel Linton and then Joe Willock comes in midfield. That is because we have got Caicedo out with that injury, as I mentioned. Salamakers is going to start as a winger on the right-hand side. Almiron a little bit tired, not quite fully fit. Otherwise, he would start inverted on this side. Sam Maximin on the left and then Isak up top. I've not been too impressed with Callum Wilson. He has scored once, but he's not been great in those games. He starts on the bench and we've got these options as subs. Let's get ourselves into this game. Let's hope we can get back to winning ways. Here we go then, warming up, going into the game. Let's have a look at that Brighton formation that I mentioned. Let's have a look at how we can do in this. I really do want to bounce back and get a win here. There is the lineup. Alexis McAllister, Trossard, Lallana. They've got a good team, haven't they, Brighton? Don't know if they were missing any of their players there. Didn't notice any that were necessarily obvious in their absence. There they are in their orange kits. Let's have a look at that Brighton line. We're not going to see the Brighton lineup. There it is, though. Look, you see what I'm saying? It's like a back 5 with then 2 right in front. Then they've got this front 3 of Lallana and McAllister in behind Trossard. We're underway. No highlights as of yet. I'm going to encourage them. 10 minutes in, we've been the better team according to the stats, and we have our first highlight. It's a long ball forward. Dunk, Veltman, back to Robert Sanchez in the goal. And we're playing from here. Webster brings it forward. Out wide. I hope that this is not going to be their highlight. Can we get the ball back, please, and launch our own attack? The stats show that we've been potentially the better team. Here's Trossard. He's in. He's dinked the keep. We're 1-0 down. It's that's a tough start. That's not a good start, especially when you look at the stats and it shows that we've been quite good. It's Leandro Trossard with a beautiful finish. Little ball through here, look, from Lallana. He takes it into his stride and then just dinks it over Pope. Pope with that animation as he falls to the floor. 1-0 down. We've got work to do. All right, let's see if we can bounce back. Okay, Brighton have it at the back. I thought Isak was going to nick it there. They've gone back to the keeper, though. We're going to get there. Salamakers has won it back. I thought he might do. He's nipped in, and we've got the ball down the right-hand side. First start for Salamakers. Crosses. Isak is a long way out. It's hit the post. Sanchez just kind of fell to the floor. He's hit the woodwork there, Isak. From a long way out with the header. We go again with another chance. Trippier to cross it. Isak. Oh, he's missed out on the header. Dunk won it. Willock to recycle it. There's a chance here. Cleared by Lallana. He had a lot of space in the box there, Joe Willock. Right, we've made a couple of chances since that goal from Brighton. Here's St. Maximin. There it is. There's the equaliser. As long as he's onside here, it looked like a well-timed run to me. We're going to go and check with VAR. Are they going to give this goal? Yes, they are. It's Alan St. Maximin with a beauty of a finish. Recycled from the corner. We just kept the pressure on there. Bruno into Salamakers. Salamakers, great ball. Well-timed run. Keeps it in the air on the little volley with the keepy up. He volleys it in. That's 1-1. And we're back to square one. We're back in a nice place here. Good response from the lads. Half an hour played. We're on the attack again here. It's going to be a Kieran Trippier corner. Swings it in. Bruno. It was towards. St. Maximin picks it up. Again, gets to the byline. Oh, was it a shot? Was it a cross? I think it might have ended up being a shot, which maybe wasn't the best decision from Alan St. Maximin. But We're looking dangerous. I mean, Brighton are looking dangerous. Good tackle. Antonio Silva. I love him. He looks so good, doesn't he, at centre-back? So Maximan now into Isak. Willock. So Isak's got it back again. Oh, my word. Great save. He's hit the post again. That's the second time that Isak's hit the post. Great save in the end. Bruno should nip in and win that back. We've looked much better. And do you know what? We're so dominant on the stats board as well. Just those 2 shots from Brighton, but it's still 1-1. And I think that's going to be half-time. It is half-time. Don't think we need to do too much. I'm going to say I'm not happy. Keep the pressure on them. Put it on them to go and perform in the second half. Straight away in the second half. Trippier towards Isak, who will retrieve it. Can he get the cross into the box? Goes a long way back to Joe Willock. There's space out wide to the right, though. Trippier with time to deliver, potentially, to the byline. Cuts back. Salamakers goes down. Referee's going to give a free kick against Salamakers here. Was that a naughty... It's been sent off. He's apparently gone in with 2 feet there. We're down to... Oh, we had all the momentum. The momentum might well swing now. Salamakers. Red cards. And what do we do from this point here? With the 10 men, do we just sacrifice... Do we try and keep the pressure on and sacrifice one midfielder? Joe Willock, maybe? Joel Linton's quite tired. Do you know what? I think we're going to sacrifice the DLP. We're going to go and bring on Miguel Almiron on this right-hand side. And see if we can... With just 2 in that midfield, whether we can keep the pressure on. We are the home team. We were playing well. That's a bit of a blow. It seemed like a bit of an innocuous one as well. He's gone in with 2 feet, apparently. With half an hour. Is this the type of game where you try and take just a draw? I don't think our decision to just lose the defensive midfielder, or the deep line midfielder, I should say, is necessarily a pragmatic one. But we're at home and I want to get a win. Here is Bruno now playing further forward. Silva. Almiron off the bench. Go on, Almiron. Oh, he squeezed it in. It's a brilliant finish from Miguel Almiron. It's very similar, actually, to the goal that he scored against Tottenham in real life, where he gets onto his left foot, squeezes it past the keeper. And we haven't gone pragmatic. We haven't gone defensive. We've got ourselves a goal, and it's the substitute. Almiron's been brilliant off the bench. He squeezes it in, look, past the keeper at the near post. 2-1. And now is it time to change things. They've gone to a 4-2-3-1 with 20 to play. We've got those 5 subs, if you remember, as well this year. Is it now time to just be a little bit careful with what we're doing? Is it time to do maybe... How do we change this? Do we go... I want to go 4-3-2, really. I kind of want to go... Can Almiron play in this midfield? Not really. Because we need to leave him on. Do we just change... Maybe just personnel. Maybe just giving Isak a bit of time off now. Maybe Sean Longstaff for Joe Willock, who looks quite tired. And we'll just change personnel for the last 20 or so minutes. 15 to play. If we see this one through, it'd be a very dogged win. There's 10 minutes to go. We can still make a couple more changes, can't we? Let's get into that sub screen. Let's do target for Sosa at left back. Bruno is tired as well. Can we do... I can do another sub. That was just a test if we had another sub. We do. I don't think I'm going to do Shoulder up into midfield, though. Let's do Shoulder up for St. Maximan, who's playing well, but it's just fresh legs, isn't it? That's all 5 of our subs. I don't want to do too much time wasting, but is now the time to do that time wasting? Do we go and... Let's do it sometimes. Let's do sometimes time wasting. 5 to play. No more highlights would be fine. Do you know what? We're going to go fully time wasty now. 4 minutes. We're into added time. There's a highlight. If we survive this highlight, we win. If they score here, we probably draw. It's target. Oh, my word. We're passing it around the back. He goes long, Nick Pope, as far away from the goal as possible. That's a mistake. It's Callum Wilson who seized upon a Lewis Dunk mistake. A 3rd goal now to seal it would be lovely. Or just take your time. Matt Target. Bruno into Almiron. It's come to Shoulder up. Was he offside? He looked offside. Bruno, just swing it in. He scored. What a finish from Bruno. And we are going to take the 3 points. We've scored our 3rd goal. We're going to win today. I swear there was an offside in the build-up to that when it came to Shoulder up, who weirdly passed it back. The finish is a drilled one, though. Is he? Surely he's offside there. He looks it. We're not going to say anything. We're just going to carry on because Bruno's drilled it into that far corner. Look, off the post. Going to be a very important 3 points for us here today. It means that the table looks like this then at the end of today's episode. We're back into those Champions League spots. 6 games played, 4 wins, 2 losses, with 3 points off the top of the table, which is Liverpool at the moment. I think we're happy with how we've done here. The transfer window is in the past now. We're going to move through and play a whole load of games. We'll be back soon with another episode. I hope you've enjoyed this one. It might have been a quite long one, actually, but I do hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much. If you have enjoyed it, leave a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time, where we're going to go on a pursuit of European qualification. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.